what's going to make money.
Yeah.
You've talked about the BFSI theme. When you talk about the India story, this is one sector that you've got to be invested in. You've talked about the EV theme, wherein there are a lot of question marks right now, a lot of competition, a little bit of slowdown as well, at least going by the monthly data. And you continue to be bullish on the entire consumption theme. Give us a few highlights, and why is it that you feel that these are the sectors that are going to make money?
I mean, in flight to safety, always it's better to be with the core. And like you rightly said, BFSI is the core.
Weightage.
Yes, weightage. You can't take away the weight of BFSI in Nifty 50 to start with. And in the last 2-3 years, and you just saw a report on the private banks before this, the private banks had looked very attractive to us. So in the risk of underperformance, and we've discussed this on your channel in a lot of lives, we sat steadily on private banks, which has helped us in the recovery of some of our schemes coming back pretty smartly. But you have to hold them when the going is tough for them, right? And take that journey. When they change, when they unfold their value, you don't know. If I knew that, I wouldn't be a salaried individual, right? But we remain extremely constructive, more on the private bank side than on the other side. I mean, India is a consumption story. And the fact is this consumption is getting re-rated because India is moving from a low and mid-level consumer to a mid and high-level consumer, right? And then you Google, most of the high-end products are bought by the middle class of the world, not India. Aspiring people. And that's India's story. Wealth is being created. In 2005, India used to be almost 65-69% low income. In 2030, this will reduce to 15%. And when wealth comes at a personal level, aspirations are met first, then needs come in. It's this aspirational growth which will drive India. So for me, consumption is a perpetual theme. We've run a consumption fund for 15-16 years now. And you can check the returns for yourself. And that itself is getting re-rated. So at the heart of India lies consumption. And please sit in that story, right? And EV is the future. I mean, India practically consumes the number of EV that is produced, right? And EV to me is a fascinating story of change and disruption because battery makers today are challenging global, what can I say, top-end car makers, right? And there was a time when the German cars dominated the world. Right now is the advent of the Chinese cars. And how does India figure in that fight? Because when India opened up, and when the foreign cars did come in, we had thought the Indian car makers would be wiped out.
Right.
You go from Mumbai to Pune, and you see it's not a war of the German cars anymore, it's a war of
all the Indian ones.
And see the value and the quality of cars that are available at a certain price. It's incredible. The facilities or the, what can I say, the specifications that were available to people for high-end cars are now available at all cars level. So that's a great disruption story which we follow, and going forward more and more people will shift there. First it was to own that green number plate, but that's not so because the cars are becoming superior. And that's something which we'll have to watch. This whole thing of now it's opening up one of the largest EV players now in India. How will the Indian market react is how the Indian manufacturers react, and they're taking it very well, right? If you see the Twitter war there.
And how Indian consumers react.
Yes, it'll be fantastic. And it's very, forget the story. It's just so good to just follow that story.
Sure. So the mega trends identified, BFSI, EV and consumption. Now